Brooklyn, New York. We have a dope MC and producer with an incredible discography with years in the game. He's had amazing releases and several releases in 2024. We're going to bring him in and talk to him about his career and what he's got coming up next. Let's bring in Str8 Paper.
Peace, peace.
My brother, what an honor to have you on. Look at that background. I need to update the books.
What's goody, fam?
That's crazy.
Yeah. Hey, you know the logo lord got to show up, right?
The logo lord. My brother, okay, so I don't even know where to start because your career is incredible, discography, crazy, been in the game for years, so many stories to tell. Why don't we start off right there? How did the logo lord come about?
So, I mean, this dates way back. You know what I mean? I used to be a young kid loving hip hop, and Cool G Rap at one point became like a real big influence of mine.
Yeah.
And fast forward in 1998, I had partnered up. I had a partner at the time. We was kind of like a duo, a group.
I know my brother Icon and Destruct. Talk.
Yeah, so we wound up working with Marley Marl.
Yeah.
We linked up with Marley Marl, and it was always a dream for me and him to do Road to the Riches over.
Yeah.
And so we wound up doing it. G-Rap came down, he flew down, and we linked up, and it was like, you know, a memorable story that I could speak of, you know, with that whole encounter. So, you know, so for a young dude to be looking up to somebody like that, and then eventually on a record, and with Marley Marl is producing it, you know what I mean? It's not like you're jacking the beat and then you just doing your own shit to it. It's the actual people that created it is working with you to do it. So
what an incredible moment. Is that song still available? Is it still out and around?
Man, to be honest with you, I think I might have saw it. I forgot what's the name. There's like a website or something like that I think I seen it out there, yeah. Yeah, it's funny, speaking of it, I still got. Yeah,
so the track was pressed up on vinyl and everything.
Yeah, this was pressed up, everything, yeah.
Wow. And that's back when you were going by Icon. Now, Icon was an acronym. Can you tell us what the acronym was?
So that stood for Idolized Creation of Nature. You know, because that came from really like, I'm a person that I never had my dad. I never knew who my real dad was.
I understand.
So, you know, as I became an MC like certified, I'd say like probably around 15 years old. Wow. And so right around that time, I felt like, you know, I was idolized, but I was a creation of the outdoors, like being, you know what I mean? Running the streets and shit. I was outside. Back then when you was young, you know, you wasn't being in the crib playing games and nothing. You was outside, you know.
Not like the kids nowadays, right? Yeah, kids nowadays on their phone. You was outside.
Yeah, so it was different, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's where that came from. And you know, that rocked with me a long time, and it basically became like my government name, you know what I mean? Everybody knows me as that. But to be honest with you, at a certain point, there was a couple of other MCs and groups that came along.
Yeah.
And that term became kind of common to me. Like it was something that I was like seeing people use, and it kind of like turned me off to it. And
because as the internet evolves, like there's like handles for websites and emails, and the names being used by other MCs all over the world, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. There was other people, you know, that had that name as well, and so yeah, you know what I mean? That was just me trying to separate myself from, you know what I mean, to make my own identity, you know?
Yeah. So from Icon, did you go to Str8 Paper, or did you go Logo Lord?
No, so it was Str8 Paper. It was I would say it had to be like about maybe 2015.
Yeah.
Like 2015. Is when it transformed into that. And a little bit after that, I want to say like in maybe 2017, I did a song called The Logo Lord.
Yeah,
It
you
was
had
like
a track called "The Logo Lord."
yeah, it was like a freestyle or some shit. And that shit just stuck with me.
It's
And
dope.
it became like, yeah, it just became me. And to be honest with you, when I started to incorporate that in the music, I've seen how a lot of people attracted to that.
Yeah,
So, you know what I mean? I was like, wow, I gotta use this to my advantage. And so,
yeah,
it became my thing. So
it's dope.
but I got a bunch of them, man. It's the Logo Lord, the Polo Priest, the
Yeah,
Polo Pastor, the Lauren Guards. You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
Illuminati.
yeah, yeah. I got the Illuminati. I'm always coming up with, you know what I mean? Little catchphrases that just, stuff that it's like I create my own little universe. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
bro, that's part of your genius.
Yeah, yeah,
Like think about it. Like not everybody could do that. That's part of your sauce.
yeah, yeah. That's definite. Like I like to step out the realm of just regular everyday shit. You know what I mean? I try
Yeah,
to add a certain spice to my shit. A
yeah, bro.
sofrito, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Like make it, and make
yeah,
it just stand out and be that much different.
yeah. It's really, really dope. The you know, just to kind of wrap up that part of what we were talking about, the earlier part of your career, how you worked with Cool G Rap and Marley Marl, and that's back when you were going by Icon, and you were part of the duo Icon and Destruct.
Yeah.
What happened with Destruct?
So right around that time, we was running around, man. We were good friends also at that time. We wound up linking with a lot of people in the industry. Like Big Pun was another person that, we had a friendship with, and we was always linking up, and you know what I mean. And we had like we had a lot of good things going for us, and basically, my partner wound up getting into some legal issues,
Yeah, bro.
and it wound up putting them away for a good time, probably about a good 8 years.
Wow.
And yeah, so you know what I mean. That kind of, to be honest with you, out the group, um, when I met him, he was a dude that he already was privy to the industry. He had
Got it.
put out records prior and all that, and I wasn't involved with nothing like that. I was just a kid that spit on the street, and
Yeah.
everywhere I went, I had a reputation of like, yo, he's nice, he's nice. That's how I even met him, and that's how he wound up linking me and Pun together too, because it was like, yo, you got to hear this kid, and vice versa, and blah blah blah. So yeah, and so when he went away, to be honest with you, I didn't have a lot of how can you say it I didn't have a lot of motion in the industry. I didn't know what the fuck I was doing or nothing like
Yeah, yeah,
that.
no,
You feel me?
I mean that's like a thing. Like well, first of all, you had done everything together, so like the
Yeah.
catalog, the work, and everything, and then that happened, and it just probably had an impact on your career.
Yeah, yeah, definitely things went to like a different route, but at the same time, as an MC, it was almost like, it took me to a place where it was like I had to dig deep again. It kind of felt at one minute like, oh, we got our foot in the door, we about to do our thing, and then, you know what I mean? It was like, now you got to go back to the grind and you got to build yourself up.
Yeah,
And that's around that time, that's had to be like 99, close to 2000. I started linking up with cats like Will Tell,
mm,
Pumpkinhead,
wow,
um, just Brooklyn Academy and Thirstin Howl
yeah,
at the same time was around that time that we all kind of created like a bond where we would link up, and Will's crib was like, he was like the RZA at the time, and
that's
he had the
dope.
crib, and so all the MCs used to go there and we do our shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And yeah, and me and Thirst always, we formed a bond from around that time, and
that's dope.
it always stood strong from since then.
That's
Yeah.
amazing, man. So did the track with Big Pun ever happen?
Nah, man, let me tell you, it's ill because he already had a concept and a whole thing for the song he wanted to do with us. It was us three. It was gonna be us three, and he had a joint called Earth, Wind, and Fire he wanted to do. So it's
Oh,
kind of
that's
ill. He had an ill
dope.
idea and everything, like, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's exclusive. The first time anybody hear that. Yeah.
Man,
Word.
that's amazing. That, salute to you and all the work. Because, with so many artists, there's all the work that people don't see. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah,
all this story of actually living hip hop, being in the
yeah,
culture, loving it. Your fans and people who discover you, they hear the song,
yeah,
they hear
yeah.
Kryptonite
Uh,
Caviar, and they're
uh,
like, oh, who's this cat? You know what I'm saying? But
yeah,
this
yeah,
cat got a long story.
yeah,
There's a lot there. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And let me tell you, man, like, to be honest with you, like, there's a lot of the story that ain't even been revealed yet because some of the stuff is painful though. You know what I mean? Some stuff.
Yeah,
You
brother.
know what I mean? And as you mature and you get older, you start to, you care about the things you say that might hurt certain people that you love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, brother.
In your music and revealing certain things. So yeah, man, it's been an ill journey though. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
bro.
And I love it. You know what I mean? Like you said, for me, I deal with that challenge a lot because I did the name change. So
Yeah.
the people they think like I'm just some dude that came out of nowhere and just. But yeah, it's like I got a long, long history into this with a lot of this. There's so many names to name of situations and things that I've been around. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I've been around the game.
I hear you, brother. That's dope. You know, you've been putting in work. In 2024, there's a string of singles dropping. You know what I'm saying? And the last, full project, Dozen Roses, that was a 2023 project. I
Exactly.
know you cooking.
Yeah.
Are you planning a new project dropping?
So to be honest with you, bro, like I have my album, it's been done. Don't get it twisted. I'm constantly reworking it and doing changes, but I'm a person that I really value my art.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel like I just felt at this year in 24 like I was gonna hit them and just hit them with a bunch of singles to keep them, intrigued because sometimes if you give them the whole plate all at once, it's like they eat it up and then that's
Yeah.
it. You know what I mean? Things get quiet. So yeah, a lot of that. So the album been done and it's about to hit real soon, probably in like we in January. I'd say like probably around May. You know what
That's
I'm saying?
dope.
Like and it's titled Only Built for Ralph Lauren. And so
Oh, that's
that
dope.
Yeah, so that joint is coming. I got Thirst is on there. Got Bad Seed on there. Block Forever's on there.
Nothing but
LABRONX is on
spitters.
there.
Who's the person you just said?
Boy Genesee.
I heard you said thirst, bad seed.
Yeah, Block Forever. Um, my boy Genesee from out in LA. LeBronx James on it.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, it's a bunch of cats. This joint right here, I was inspired by obviously the Only Built for Cuban Links, and I wanted to do, when you listen to that album's a lot of collaboration, and so I wanted to do something like that with my immediate circle. That's people that I rock with,
Yeah.
and yeah, man, so it's done, it's ready, and yeah, man, it's gonna drop real soon.
That's dope, man. I'm excited about that. Only built for Ralph Lauren. Dropping spring. It's gonna be a summer album.
Yeah,
There's gonna be videos through the
yeah,
summer.
yeah. So that's basically what I'm wrapping up now is getting my visuals done up so that way I could just hit them and yeah, it's gonna be a good
Right,
thing.
the whole rollout.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
dope, brother. That reminds me because when we go through your discography, you got another joint that kind of reflects on a little Nas and a little Ray also, which was It Was Written in Purple.
yeah, yeah. Because that's my two favorite artists. You know what I mean?
I
Like,
love those two artists
yeah,
too, man.
Nas is the greatest of all time to
I
me.
I
You know what I
I,
mean?
I second that. I
Yeah,
think everybody you've talked about, like Nas, Ray, G-Rap,
yeah.
and like that's Mount
Exactly,
Rushmore.
exactly. Same for me. So yeah, man. when I did that joint, that was it was just a clever way of me putting both of those recipes together and doing my thing, you know what I'm saying? And to be real with you, that time, you know, that album came out during the pandemic is when I created that album. You know, I was just sitting up and I was like, yo, you know what, we gonna create. But I'll be honest, you know, A Dozen Roses I feel is where I sharpened things up.
Yeah.
I started to work with my boy Genesee out in LA. So all my music basically I created, then it gets sent out there and he puts his touches and you know what I mean his magic that he does to all my music. So, you know, I got a process that I started to develop of, you know, of how I'm gonna create my art. And so, you know, I'm happy right now of you know the way that I got it going.
Yeah, like you got a method now of like you get the beat, write
Yeah,
it, record it, send it, he slices it.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm always, you know, I'm a person like I'm very, very picky with beats. It's hard, like for me to
Mm.
really like a beat. But you know, at the end of the day, the beat gotta talk to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, and look, yo, there go my boy Will. Shout out Will Tell. Talking about beats, you feel me? Like
Yeah.
that's how he was, you know, like he would create a certain style of beat at that back in that time, 99, 2000, that just would make me speak, you
Yeah.
feel me? So I'm
Yeah.
looking for the same thing now, you know what I mean? To create. I'm not a person in a rush to just put out whatever shit.
Yeah.
I'm trying to create shit that I actually love, you know what I mean? Myself.
Yeah, bro. Talk to us about that process. You know, like, you know, you're talking about how the beat pulls the song out of you.
Yeah.
What tell us what your creative process is like in creating a song.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest with you, it's just that. Like for instance, Kryptonite Caviar, that's Team Demo. Shout
Yeah.
out to Team Demo.
Shout out Team
You
Demo.
know, they got body beats, you know what I'm saying? And
They got
basically,
plaques.
yeah, yeah, and they sent me that joint. And when I heard that joint, I swear to God, yo, I walked downstairs, and by the time I walked downstairs, that first verse, like half of it was done. Like, you
That's
know what I mean? It just
crazy.
spill out. It just make you, you know what I mean? So yeah, man, you know that's what I look for, and that's not easy.
Yeah.
That's not an easy
Yeah.
thing. You know what I mean? Like everybody got some, you know, it's like you got certain color paints that you like to paint with.
That's
You know
good.
what I mean? And sometimes they're rare to get. You might not find those colors in certain stores. You know what I mean?
That's good. Yeah.
So
Like that like those colors aren't common.
yeah, exactly. And so that's the trick. That's the magic. You know what I mean? Is finding the right backdrop to that makes you speak. You know what I mean?
Good.
So yeah, that's usually how I do it.
When you write, when you record, you know, is it on paper, on your phone, in your head? How do you actually do the
Yeah,
craft?
I be doing all of them. Yeah, it's just
Wherever you're at.
yeah, if it come to me, that's it. But I ain't gonna lie, the phone is where it's at now
Yeah.
a lot. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, the phone is I I only write in script. I don't know why. I don't like to write in print. So
What do you mean? What do you mean in script? Like it typing?
no, like when I'm saying when I write with pen and paper,
Yeah.
I only write in script. And so when I write like that in cursive, sometimes look when I go back, it'd be hard to like even catch what I was saying at the time. You get what I mean?
Oh.
So
Oh.
with the typing, it kind of like it made my when I go back to my notes, it's like all right, cool, this shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. So like it's a more clear.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah,
Right, because you get sight. You be writing
yeah,
it.
I go crazy with it, like yeah. So that's you know what I mean. So yeah, with the typing, they got to correct that.
That's dope. Yeah,
I
yeah. You be
still
like, what is
got
that word?
yeah, to this day, I keep all my books. I got all my books from when I was like 14, 15 years
Right,
old.
because
I still
you've been
got everything.
rhyming forever.
Yeah, yeah. I've been rhyming probably, I was writing rhymes already probably at 13. But
Wow.
at 14 and 15 is when I started to actually go to a little studio here and there. You know what I mean? Like just
Yeah.
people shit in the crib. And then Yeah, you figure when Road to the Riches, when I did that, that I was probably about, at that time I had to be like 17, 18, something like
Wow.
that. Yeah, so you know what I mean? All this shit was happening young.
That's crazy young.
Yeah.
You were for G-Rap at 18.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So yeah.
That's incredible. So we're talking about, these influences. You got G-Rap, you knew Pun, gotta make that Nas and Ray connect happen.
Yeah, yeah,
Nas
yeah. It's funny because
active too. Nas has
yeah,
been mad active.
yeah, it's funny because I've met both of them too. I met actually Nas through Pun and them. Yeah, I got to meet him and shit. And Ray, I met him on a couple occasions. Matter of fact, I met him as well on that day of the it was the John Blaze video shoot they were doing. I was there for that. Um, yeah, and I got to meet them. But I was a young boy back then.
That's
You feel
so
me?
crazy though, man.
Yeah, yeah. So,
That's dope.
yeah, man, I would love to. That's like a dream to work with any of them cats. You feel me?
Yeah, man, things
Super
happen.
duper legend.
Dream big, you know what I'm saying? Yeah,
Yeah,
legends.
yeah.
For sure. At what point did the like the move from uh Brooklyn to Florida happen?
Man, to be real with you, bro, I've been all over this bitch. Like, I went from Brooklyn. I spent a lot of time in Staten.
Wow.
Yeah, I was in Staten Island for about a good, like, probably like 8 years, something like that.
Hmm.
Then from Staten, wound up in Jersey. And then in Jersey, it was like right after Jersey, I wound up in Florida and shit. Yeah,
Is
by
there
the
a
time,
lot of cats? Are there a lot of is there a lot of Brooklyn heads in Staten?
yeah, hell yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
Because a lot of the woo were from
yeah,
Brooklyn.
yeah. And that's how it is in Staten. A lot of people is from straight from Brooklyn. Yeah.
Got it.
There's a lot. Yeah, but I got a lot of love out there too. Shout out to New Brighton, my man Mellow Melodies out there. Word, you know what I mean? There's a lot of good people out there. You
That's
know what I
dope.
mean? That I got love for. So yeah, for sure.
And now in Orlando too, man, there's a really incredible scene right now.
Yeah, yeah. Let me tell you, man. Like, I give Thirst a lot of credit, man. Like, he
Yeah.
created like almost like a little New York out here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, yeah, man. He deserves a lot of credit. Just the whole movement. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Him and Earl and everybody that's a part of the movement that's pushing it forward. You know what I mean? Like they're doing incredible things. Like
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah. And I'm
Yeah, it's like it's like all aspects of hip hop, right? Because there's obviously like MCing and DJing.
yeah,
There's fashion aspect,
yeah,
right, with the low lifes. But they're doing like in Orlando specifically, from what I understand, there's a lot of things happening in the community where they're giving back to the
yeah, yeah,
community.
yeah. You got great artists out here. Shout out to Art Changes Demand. Shout out to Alien. She was just in a video that I got coming with my peoples. I'm featured on a joint called FOH. Shout out to German Regime. You know what I mean? Directed by Box Low. You know what I mean? Go Box Films. So yeah, that's gonna be crazy. But yeah, there's a lot of great talent out here um, with the art as well. You
That's
know what I
dope,
mean?
man.
Yeah.
That's
So
dope. And the support, you know what I'm saying? The support and
yeah,
everything,
yeah.
you could feel it.
No, no, for sure. It's a whole. To be honest with you, you're almost getting more support than back home.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
because it's so big, right?
Yeah,
Like the so many MCs out in New York.
yeah, yeah. Exactly. So it's hard for a person to focus on. They focus on who they focus.
Yeah,
But yeah, out here's a lot of support, and yeah, man, I'm appreciative for everybody
yeah,
for giving me you know what I mean, that giving me their eyes and ears. You know what I mean, whenever I do something. So you know what I mean. I got a lot of respect for everybody out
yeah,
here.
bro.
Shout out to another good, great artist, man. Fellow, good fellow, yeah, man. Real talented brother with the spray cans and all that. Yeah, they get busy. Yeah,
Dope. That's dope. has there been any conversations of like, you know, like a like a project of the artists, you know, in Orlando, like just like, you know what I'm saying, like a compilation or something like that?
Yeah. So there's some whispers of something like that happening. I don't want to
Because I
put
mean, there's
that out the
you,
bag.
there's Thurstin, there's Block, there's
Yeah.
all the artists you've been naming. There's producers, there's DJs.
Yo, shout out Ducky Low, yo, the whole low life Mexico out there, son. Word. That's my
That's
peoples
dope.
right there. Word. But yeah, man, fucking as far as the compilation, yeah, there's whispers of something coming together real soon. So I've been invited to be a part of something. That's all I'm gonna say. I'm
Right,
not gonna say
right,
let
right,
it
right.
all out the bag, but yeah, man, that's definitely in the works and the plans. You know what I mean? I could see something like that definitely happening.
That's
You
dope, my
know,
bro.
yeah. And me, I'm a person. I participate with all the brothers in this low culture. You know what I mean? Like I'm open to working with everybody. You feel me?
Yeah,
I ain't got no hate. It's all love and loyalty. You know
yeah,
what I mean? Just spreading you know what I mean? A good energy. You know what I
yeah.
mean? That's what we coming with.
That's
So
beautiful, man.
sure.
That's dope. That's dope. You know, when we first opened up, we were talking about your career and all the work you've done, work with um Cool G Rap, Big Pun. But there's another thing that we haven't had a chance to talk about, which was there's a movie, Office Space,
Yeah.
right? Right? Can you unpack Office Space?
Yeah. So Office Space, that was about right around that time that I was telling you that we was linking with Pun and all that was going on. There was a lot going on. Things was looking promising, and we wound up linking up with John Forte and John Forte of the Fugees. And this dude, you know, shout out to Forte. He's a very, very, very incredible artist. You know what I mean? Like getting around him, I got to see the difference of somebody that, you know, you just grab a beat that's looped up or whatever, you know, dude was grabbing guitars and playing all kind of instruments and, you know what I mean, creating records from scratch. And so, yeah, we got around him.
Like a musician through and through.
Yeah, so we got around him. And shout out to Kenyatta Black. He was another artist. It was me, him, and Destruct on that joint. And we yeah, John Forte basically masterminded and put that together. And yeah, we wound up coming out on the
On the
soundtrack of some movie at the
soundtrack of
time.
a big
Yeah,
movie. Like that movie wound up being like a cult
yeah,
classic.
yeah. And it's funny because at the time I never thought shit about it. You know what I'm saying? And then later on it wound up like, oh shit, you know what I mean? People fuck with that movie. Yeah, so
That's dope, man. That's dope. Now, when when you were starting out, you were also producing. Are you still producing?
yeah, so to be honest with you, that's just a part of me that I always had, but
Yeah,
I don't know how to describe it. It's like I'm an MC. That's
yeah.
my main what I do. I fuck around with beats. I could always create something if I want to.
Hmm.
And I feel like there was times that I got heavy into that mode when I stopped rapping, when I had times where I paused. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's like that energy got to go to somewhere.
like another form of a creative outlet.
Yeah. So yeah, you know what I mean? I got the know-how to create production and do my thing, and I've done things for a bunch of stuff in the past or whatever. Yeah.
When you started out, you were producing. What were you producing on the MPC?
Yeah, so that's what happened around that time. I wound up getting an MPC, but before that, I had a 12-second sampler. It was a Gemini 12-second sampler that one of my mans wound up getting somehow and brung it to me. And I used to loop beats. And I used to, back at this time, I was always known for rapping forever. I spit and spit and spit. I never end because
Like
I,
freestyling.
yeah, but writing too. I would write like forever. So the reason for it was because I would loop the beat on the shit and it would just keep going and going and going. So I would just be going. I wasn't even thinking about counting no bars or nothing like that. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was the first. I would say that was the first thing that gave me the ability of like, oh, that's how you loop shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So from there, yeah, early in the game, I got the MPC 2000 when that first came out. And shout out to Will. He used to come to the crib because he already had knowledge of equipment like that. Matter of fact, he had the SP and the 950. That's how he was making his shit. And then when I got the 2000, he was coming through. You know what I mean?
He
And he
had
was
the
showing
SP,
me
you
shit.
had the 2000.
Yeah. So it was like I had the new toy. You feel me?
Yeah.
So he was coming through though, and he had he knew about all that shit.
Yeah.
So yeah, we was linking, and that's how I started. If you look, it's crazy because there's a clip on YouTube. MTV posted it. It's Big L and Big Pun, and they spit into my beats that I had made at this
Are
time.
you crazy? How did
Yeah,
that happen?
yeah, it's weird. Like, cause we was all chilling with Pun this one day, and Big L, we was on a bus, and Big L came through, and I had like a CD, I guess, or a tape. I don't know if it was a tape still at that time.
Yeah. Beat tapes.
And
Everybody having a beer shop in your beats.
yeah, and I just had beats on it though, like just to to spit to. And they had put it on, and they just wound to spin. And it's funny because this footage got captured, and you know what I mean, it's out there. And so it's like, wow, that's crazy. Like,
So you weren't there when it happened. You like later on
I
saw
was
the
there.
clip, and you're like, oh, you were there.
I was there, yeah.
Oh, that's
I was there.
crazy.
Yeah.
That's so dope.
Yeah.
And I know the machine you're talking about, the first machine, the Gemini, and
Yeah.
those machines had like two small slots and then one
Yes.
big one. Right? And it
Yes.
had a button. You gotta get the
Exactly.
loop, you had to get the loop perfectly.
Exactly. So that's how I would get nice with it. You feel me? Because you had to get that shit right.
You had to get it. Yeah, if it was a little bit off, it wouldn't loop right.
Exactly. Yeah, you know exactly the machine. That's it.
Yeah, because see, I used to DJ back then.
Yes.
So DJs would use that joint, so you'd like size it up.
Yeah, that's what it was made for and shit.
Yeah.
And it had like a couple little banks, like like a 2 second, 8 second, whatever.
Right. You had one big one and like two or three little ones.
Yeah.
And you couldn't, and to get a new loop, you had to record over.
Word.
Right? You know,
exactly.
I know what you talk about.
You couldn't save your shit.
You couldn't save nothing.
So what I would do is I would hook up a tape recorder to the shit, and then I would record whatever beat I made. You feel me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you'd find like a loop, like a record, like a dope sample.
So yeah, what I would do is I would get a drum loop and I would play it in the tape player, and then with the 12-second sampler, I'll find the sample and I'll just like catch that shit. All right, boom. And then I would record those two devices to another device. You feel me?
Yeah. And you do it with just speakers and a microphone?
Word. But at this time, I wasn't recording yet. That was I would just loop a beat just so I could write, so I could spit forever. I just keep spitting and spit.
Because it used to be hard to get beats. Now people got stuff like BeatStars.
Yeah.
YouTube.
Exactly.
There's no beats unless you had an instrumental or something.
So that's what made me make beats, because it was like, damn, I need to write. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I would loop shit and I would come up with crazy shit. Yeah, so then you become, I think like that just becomes a part of your DNA. Is like you're a person when you see a movie, it's like, yo, that sample right there. You feel me? Or whatever you hear, old record, yo, I'm gonna catch that sample.
Absolutely.
So you become a fiend for that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
you're just looking for the new sounds.
Word. So
man.
That's so that's how I got into that shit.
So how did you learn more like song structure and format, 16 bars, 8-bar hook? Like how did that all happen?
To be real with you, I never really even get into that. My boy in LA trips out on me all the time because my structure is crazy. Because I feel like I'm not the type of things, the type of art I'm creating. I'm not trying to create you a package that is like, yo, this is the same one every time.
Yeah.
This one might the bars might be different, the number of bars. You know what I mean? This one I might have 3 short verses, like Kryptonite Caviar. If you look
Yep.
at it, that's how the structure, you know. But then I got other joints where it's like, yo, I'm gonna just spit a verse from the beginning to the end of the song.
Yeah.
You feel me? I ain't gonna cheat you. I'm gonna give you mad bars. It ain't gonna be like just a second or a minute. I'm gonna give you your shit, but it's gonna go the whole way. Sometimes I give it up like that. So it's like I try to cook a different meal every time. I'm
Yeah.
not trying to really do the same thing over
Yeah.
and over, the same structure for that, you
Yeah.
know?
So it comes out however it comes out over that soundscape. Whatever the music draws out of you, that's how you
That's
write
it.
it.
That's what I do. I'm not a person like I'm trying to make the next hit single, and so I'm gonna do this and this thing, and nah, man, you know what I mean? This shit is like it's spiritual for me. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It comes from my soul and my spirit, and I'm trying to do shit that I love, and you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Don't get it twisted. I've experimented, made all kind of music too,
Yeah.
but I know what feels good to my heart when it's all.
Mm.
So at about I would say around 2016 was around the time where I put that in my mind, and I was like, nah, moving forward from here, there's no more jumping from lane to lane. This is what I'm going with. This is like, this is who I always been, and I'm gonna just walk this path. You know what I mean? So yeah, this has been my style. Like the style that you hear, that's the style that I've been. If you look back to a lot of the early Will stuff, the Will Tell compilations and all that, you see that style, that part of me is still here. Like, you know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, and that's the type of sound I'm trying to come with. You know what I mean? I'm not trying to give you a next hit or nothing like that, or you know what I mean? I'm not into none of that.
That's dope,
That's not what I'm in it
man.
for.
It's so pure. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah. It's pure. It's pure hip hop.
yeah, yeah. You know what I mean? And I truly look at my music as art. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm not looking at it as like just like a commodity or just a song that I'm trying to do. Or this is my art. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's
It
dope.
comes from a good place. You know?
Yeah, bro.
Even sometimes, like me withholding from dropping the albums and all that too fast. You know what I mean? It's because I want people to really I want people to enjoy it and really savor it. I remember back when we was first hearing all the legendary albums that we loved, we used to
Yeah.
rock with them shits for a year or two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we really enjoyed it. We got to know that album. You know what I mean? So I get it. You know what I mean? Like we in a different time. People are doing what they're doing, but I'm still not trying to just conform to just do what everybody's doing either.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm gonna
Yeah.
stay true to myself and what I feel is right, and that's what I'm doing. And so, with that said, you already know the only bill for Ralph Lauren is on the way. I got the support of all my brothers out here. Shout out to Thirstin Howl III once
Yeah.
again. You know what I mean? Like, he really, really put his support behind me right now, and I'm appreciative to everybody. You know what I mean?
Yeah, bro.
And
That's really
it's
dope.
people like you that even, you know what I
Thank you,
mean,
bro.
hitting me up and saying, "Yo, man,
Let's
let's
run
collab."
it.
You know what I mean? Because I see the artists that you
Thank
link
you.
with, and a lot of them are cats that they come in they're official. You know what I
Thank you,
mean? It's
bro.
not no I could tell you're not just picking any old body
Yeah.
off the street. You know what I
I
mean?
love this, man. I love hip hop and you know, um I need to be excited about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Now I could see that it's coming from a real place.
Appreciate that.
That's why I'm glad to be a part of your catalog that you're building.
Thank
You
you,
know,
brother.
I
I
see what
appreciate
you're
that.
doing, man. You got a lot of work under your belt.
I
So
appreciate that, brother.
keep
Appreciate it
pushing, bro.
so much. Thank you. We've talked about the music, right? But there's another aspect to it, especially with the fact that um fashion and style is a big part of your life
Yeah,
and who you are. the visual aspect of your music, you know, videos like Line for Line, Lowering Gods, right? Like visually they look incredible too. Can you talk to us about what that visual work is like, you know, when you kind of map out how it's gonna look on camera, what you're gonna wear, how you know, like all of that. Can you take us into the visual aspect of your creativity?
Yeah, so it goes back to what I told you, man. It's like it's special colors to these paintings, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And so anytime I'm doing something, I feel like I'm trying to I think back to the 90s when Wu-Tang and Nas, they would take a picture and you would look at that
Yeah,
picture and you would be like, wow, it was like timeless, you know
yeah,
what I mean? I'm trying to create that same feeling. You know what I mean? That's the feeling I'm trying to leave behind when this is all said and done. You know what I mean? Because we grown men, we trying to do our thing, we living our life. You know
yeah,
what I mean? But
yeah,
we love hip hop, and we gonna keep pushing forward and representing it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
So yeah, man. I just feel like I want to shout out my aunt Monica. Um, she was real fashionable when I was growing up. She was into that. And she kind of like spread that on to me at probably about like 5, 6 years old around there. She I don't know how to describe it, but the Tiga shirts,
She was
lead pants,
fly.
yeah, with the pinstripes and all that. You know what I mean? And I was a young boy, but she would get me, you know what I mean, to get fresh and all that. And it's something that stuck with me.
Yeah,
It's weird. It became me, and I, anybody that knows me knows that I've been like that way since a
yeah.
youngin. You know?
That's dope.
Yeah.
That's dope. For the upcoming album, Only Built for Ralph Lauren, is there like a lead single? Is there like a lead visual? Is there anything you can share? Because I know you know what I'm saying. At the same time, I don't want you to reveal anything you're not ready to
Yeah.
reveal.
Yeah. Nah. I mean, I'm not ready to make that statement yet, but I tell you this. Kryptonite Caviar is one of mine. I love that record, and so I plan to do a visual for it for sure. Like, you know what I mean? I know I dropped it and I waited a long
I mean,
minute, but
you know,
but
that joint timeless. That
yeah,
joint
yeah.
bangs.
Yeah, and I feel like, you know what I mean, it gives things, you know what I mean, it gives it legs. Like, let's keep going. Like I told you, I'm not trying to create something, you listen to it for a week and then that's the end of it. Now let's keep it going.
Yeah,
So, you know what I mean? Definitely that's gonna
yeah,
happen. So that's in the works actually. And so yeah, man, there's definitely visuals on the works happening. Shout out to Green shout out to Green Fever Films and everything like that. You know what I mean? My nigga Polo Baby Flacco, Flacco Vision.
yeah.
He got some shit. I be working with him a lot. Shout out to Boxlow. I'm looking forward to work with him.
Right.
He's incredible. Shout out to Robbie Just Does It. He did line for line for me. Yeah, man, so yeah, man, I'm looking forward to definitely bring some visuals for this. Like I said, I just did one with German Regime. That video's about to drop, I would say maybe in the next month or so.
Okay.
So yeah, man, be on the lookout for that. And yeah, man, we're gonna keep it rolling.
That's dope. What does kryptonite caviar mean to you?
So so for me, like, my style and especially on that record, it's like my style is rare. It's different. Like, you know what I mean? Especially on that record. I feel like I have an abstract style. And
Yeah.
so Kryptonite Caviar is just when I thought about that title, that's just the feeling it gave me when I heard that beat. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like, so yeah, man, it was hard to explain. It's like words. Sometimes you put words together, and just those two words coming together is like a movie title, and that shit'll make you spill a whole movie out. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Write a whole
Yeah.
script for that joint. So that's basically how that came about. Like when I heard the beat, it was like, damn, like this is some shit that I gotta do some. You know what I mean? Like it's kryptonite, but it's caviar. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like this shit is
Yeah.
rare. You know what I mean? In every way. you know. So yeah, so that's how that joint, you know what I mean? I
Yeah, you're
always
like the
get
king
to
of like
that.
the one-liners, right? Because you have all these things you say,
Yeah,
Latin
yeah,
Ultimate Warrior, right?
yeah,
All the little, you know what I'm
yeah.
saying?
Yeah. So to be real with you, another part of that that my style that I feel makes it unique is that I have a theme. There's a lot of themes that play into my music. So like when I was growing up, I was a fan of like Mad Max, the
Yeah,
Road Warriors.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? The Ultimate Warrior, Legion of
yeah,
Doom,
yeah,
Shogun Assassin.
yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I always was into this type of shit. So for me, it's like I'm taking all of those influences and I'm putting it all in a pot. And if you listen to my style, especially like on a record like Kryptonite Caviar, I'm not staying on one subject. It's like flashes. You know what I'm saying? It's just thoughts, just flashes of thoughts. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So
It's like a flavor. It's like a palette.
yeah, it's like an abstract collage. You know what I mean? Like, and so that's where that derives from. You know what I mean? Is these certain themes, and once again, that's why I said I see people attract to that from the music,
Yeah,
and so it's like that's what's motivating me to keep that going. You know what I
yeah,
mean? Like that create my own universe, my language that people, you know, now they
yeah.
know that kryptonite caviar. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Legion of Doom, Road Warriors, Ultimate Warrior, right? All that.
Conan,
Conan,
you know,
because you got a line in there, right? Like
pray the
Conan at
crime,
the end of the movie.
pray the
Yeah,
crime like Spanish Jesus. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah, what you call it? Cause pray the crime, what you call it? That's like yeah, I
That was
got
his
some.
God.
Yeah,
That was
yeah,
his God in the movie when he
exactly,
conquered everybody, when he was
exactly.
sitting on the throne.
Yeah, yeah. So
I knew
I got some shit
when
of
you say it in the rhyme, I knew exactly the scene.
that's
I
ill,
You said the word, but I had the whole scene already in my mind.
ill,
Because
that's ill. Yeah,
he had at that point he'd conquered everybody. He was on
exactly,
the throne. He
exactly.
killed mad dudes. He killed everybody, right?
Yes, exactly. Nah, yo, it's ill that you caught that, cause
Yeah,
I know like sometimes I say things that the average person I know they're not gonna catch
yeah,
that. You know what I'm saying? But that's ill you caught that. Like yeah, I plan at some point. I'm planning to do a project called Pray to Chrome. Yeah, so
oh, that's
yeah,
dope.
that's another one that I got kind of in my brain that it's like I got like certain like chapters and movies in my head of like that I want to come out with. It's just I'm very picky about how I'm putting them together.
Yeah,
So the ideas are already manifesting and there. I'm just cooking them up, you know what I mean? But they got to be done right.
yeah.
And so yeah, there's a lot to come, man.
That's dope, my bro. That's dope. My bro, new album dropping this year, only built for Ralph Lauren. Probably a spring summer joint. Already ready. Now you're just planning the rollout. You
Yeah.
talked about featurings, Thirstin Howl the Third, LABRONX James, Block Forever. I think you mentioned a couple more.
Bad Seed is on there.
Bad Seed.
Yeah, he's on there. Team Demo produced on there. Shout out to Pain Productions produced on there. Genesee produced on there. Got a cat named Gonzi Supreme. He produced one on there. So yeah, man, it's a lot of some goodies on there.
Man, I can't wait to hear that new album and to see the visuals. For anybody who wants to, link up with you, what are the best places to find you to connect with you?
So obviously Instagram is the thing that I probably put the most attention to. So like if anybody's trying to reach to me and shit, like cause I get people that they try to reach out on Facebook,
Yeah,
but I don't really check that messenger like that or nothing. So
yeah.
be sure trying to hit me on Instagram and hit the Gmail, straightpapermusic@gmail.com. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, that's the best way to reach me and shit. You know what I mean?
That's dope, my bro. Anybody you want to give shout outs to who start to rap?
Say that again?
Anybody you want to give shout outs to as we start the rap?
Yeah, man. Like I said, I want to shout out to number one to you for taking your time out your day. You know what I mean? To come fuck with the logo,
Woo!
Lord. You know what I mean? Logo, Lord here. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, I want to shout out to everybody in LA. I got
Yeah,
a lot of people. Shout out to Polo Ness. I see my boy out there. Shout out to Jazzo the Juggernaut out in LA. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Shout out to Big Twins, you know what I mean? He out there in LA doing his thing.
yeah.
Shout out to Nemesis, you know what I mean? She out there doing her thing, you know what I mean? And yeah, man, shout out to everybody, man. Shout out to Thirstin Howl the third, you know what I mean? That's my brother. Shout out to Boxlow. Shout out to Philo. Shout out to motherfucking shout out to Benny Serrano, you know what I mean?
Benny be connecting people, man.
Yeah. Shout out to Hip Hop on the Gram. You know what I mean? Shout out to LABRONX James, yo. If y'all looking for that low, hit my boy
He
up. You know what I
got
mean?
everything.
The official. You know what I mean? You're not gonna get no bootleg shit. You know what I mean? No shit that somebody wore.
I've gotten some pieces from the Bronx.
Yeah.
Real talk.
It's official. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, shout out to everybody out there, man, that's showing love, man. Shout out to Dan07. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody, the whole low life Orlando, the whole low life Miami, the whole low life Mexico, the whole low life Japan. You know what I mean? The whole low life everywhere. Paris, France, Belgium. You know what I mean? Shout out to everybody. Shout out to Brooklyn. You know what I mean? Fort Greene, Sunset Park, Staten Island, New Brighton. You know what I mean? Much love.
Yeah, brother. That's so dope. My bro, when that album dropped, we gotta run it back.
Yeah. Yo, shout out to Elo Kush.
Shout out to Elo Kush.
Word up. He out there in LA too.
Elo's so dope, man.
Word. Yo, he just bodied it at a show that I was at, son. So
yeah, that was the Thirstin joint, right? The West Coast Invasion.
Yeah, he was there and he bodied it, man. They did their thing. Word. Shout out to German Regime, son. My boy D Soul. You know what I mean? DJ XS. Word up.
That's beautiful.
Shout out to Just P. Yes,
yeah.
But yeah, man, it was a pleasure, man.
Thank you.
I enjoyed this.
Yeah, thank you. It's an honor to have you on. A pleasure to build with you. Your career is incredible. You know what I'm saying? When we go back and unpack the work you've done with Cool G Rap, Big Pun, being in the movie, being on the soundtrack of the movie Office Space. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many layers of your career that if someone to go to Spotify right now, they seeing like the tip of the iceberg.
Let me tell you, bro, like what you just named, there's so much more that we didn't even get to touch. You know what I mean? There's so much history, you know what I mean? But it's a beautiful thing, man. We're gonna do a part 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We'll get up. You know what I mean? Hopefully by then, you know what I mean? I'll be further along in my career and we'll link up and we'll do it again.
I love it, brother. I love it.
Right.
Str8 Paper, it's an honor, my bro. We'll run it back soon. Salute.